it would otherwise be the broadest mass detention without bond mandate in American history. Since 2 other appellate courts have already upheld the policy, the case could be headed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Could OPEC's days be numbered? The question follows word of the United Arab Emirates pending withdrawal from the cartel.
This is a big blow for OPEC, which was formed decades earlier as a means to control the prices of crude oil on the international market by setting production targets. And the UAE was one of those countries that really chafed under those limits. The UAE says it will be able to set its own production levels. It says it will still be a responsible player within the market, but it also comes amid tensions with Saudi Arabia. This is all coming as the whole Middle East is still reeling from the Iran war.
Correspondent John Gambrell. 2 people injured, a knife attack in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood of London. UK Prime Minister Starmer calls it deeply concerning. A 45-year-old man under arrest on suspicion of attempted murder. The Dow futures down 56 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, if you're hearing my voice, chances are you're either worried about a parent living alone or you are that parent. And you know your family worries about you too. Either way, there's a company that finally got senior safety right. Connected Caregiver. Connected Caregiver is everything you knew about alert devices, fall detection, emergency button, GPS, reimagined for today. There's a small wearable that alerts your family's phone the moment something happens. Inside your home, discrete sensors, no cameras, no microphones, just motion sensors have you covered even when you're not wearing it. No movement for hours, your loved ones will know. For the kids, you go from hoping everything's okay to knowing it is. And for you, you stay in your home on your terms while giving your precious family the peace of mind they've been asking for. That's not losing independence, that's keeping it. Visit ccgoffer.com to see if you qualify for a free device. It takes 2 minutes. That's ccgoffer.com, ccgoffer.com. Do it today.
Moscow's latest attacks on Ukraine result in casualties and damage.
Russian drone attacks overnight Tuesday hit multiple regions across Ukraine, injuring civilians and damaging infrastructure, regional authorities say. In the northeastern Sumy region, an attack on Shustka triggered large-scale fires in residential areas. A 60-year-old woman died of carbon monoxide poisoning and others were treated for injuries. Ukraine's Air Force says it shot down 154 of the 171 drones launched by Russia overnight, but 12 drones had hit targets across 10 locations, while debris from downed drones fell in another 12. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The head of the UN Nuclear Agency says a majority of Iran's highly enriched uranium still thought to be at its Isfahan nuclear complex. The site was bombed by airstrikes last year and then was hit again this year. News and analysis, townhall.com. College sports premier tournament on track to see a significant expansion of teams next season.
The NCAA is still deliberating expanding March Madness on both the men's and women's sides to 76 teams for next season. The NCAA released a statement Tuesday in the wake of an ESPN report that cited unnamed sources, saying a decision to add 8 teams to the bracket is a mere formality that's expected in May. The statement said, quote, "No final recommendations or decisions have been made," end quote. The tournaments have been at 68 teams since 2011, when 4 play-in games were added to the first week of play. I'm Gethin Coolball.
Britain's King and Queen travel to New York City today. They'll meet with first responders, victims' families at the 9/11 memorial site. Reflecting on the attacks of 25 years ago, King Charles says, "We stood with you then, we stand with you now." More on these stories, townhall.com.
We always get the question, what is Caledonian? That's easy. We're a full financial services firm. Who is Caledonian? Well, that's a little more interesting. Monty has an economics background. Daisy and Perry come from the banking world. Gay is an accountant, and Thomas has science and business degrees. Blair was a small business owner. Finally, I'm Becky Price, and I have a background in education. Together, we make up Caledonian Financial in historic downtown Columbia.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA and SIPC.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. Getting a pass is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Hi, I'm Robert Rogers at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC. Parks Motor Sales was founded by my granddad, Bobby Parks, and my great-granddad, Julian Mays, in 1958. We've been family-owned the whole time, and being family-owned, locally-owned means you get to get your next vehicle or your existing vehicle serviced by the same people who stand in the grocery line with you, drop their kids off at the same school you do, and smile and are happy to see you when they do. So come see us at Parks Motor Sales in Columbia, Tennessee on 919 Nashville Highway or parksmotorsales.com.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Hollins Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
Hello, this is Terry Tillis from Tillis Jewelry. Men, this is for you. Stop and listen. Every woman has a secret desire to have diamonds. I can say this because I am a woman. When I put on my ring or put on my earrings that my husband gave me, I feel special. Stop by Tillis Jewelry, downtown Columbia. Let us help you find a special diamond just for her.
You're not just a homeowner. You're also a bug in the basement with the frightening number of legs owner. Fortunately, you've got heating and cooling built and tested to keep going. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090 for all your home comfort needs. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local independent American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
What's your favorite radio station?
101.7 WKOM.
Oh!
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, and what I say you must obey.
Live from the WKOM studio in downtown Columbia, it's time to wake up and get woke. It's three dudes with a view.
Let's get it all!
All right, good morning, Sunville, Tennessee. My name is Delton Kennedy. I am dude number 3. I am, at least for this vacation, I'm coming to you for the last time from the sunny shores of the Gulf of America. So I've had a great time, just basically puddling around on my own. Had some great seafood, been out on the beach, got plenty of rest. Got a flight out this afternoon, and I'm tanned, rested, and ready. Dude number 2, Ron Hart. I don't see him this morning. Jeb, where's your dad?
I think he has a meeting this morning. He might be a little late. I can't speak to it. He brought something up about it the other day, but I don't remember.
Okay, no problem. All right, Jeb Hart, son of dude number 2, Ron Hart. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning.
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody.
Regular special guest, dude, Debbie Matthews. Good morning.
Good morning, Dale. Glad you're having a good time.
Thank you, Debbie. And formerly dude number 2, but still a dude. He's our engineer this morning. Clayton Harris, good morning.
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody.
It's always special when Clayton's here. He's the
Yeah,
special sauce.
I agree,
He
Debbie.
is. I mean, it's not the same.
Yep,
We
I
love
agree.
Clayton. We love Clayton.
All right, folks. We talked a little bit about King Charles the other day and what we thought he might do on this visit, and so I want to hear what everybody thought, particularly his speech to Congress and that kind of thing. I mean, anybody who wants to put in their thoughts on it.
That was a good gift.
I think, yeah, I think giving honey was one of the coolest, thoughtful things that we could have done. And I love that we have, is it an apiary? Is that correct? Is that the right term? That we have honeybees at the White House. And I love the new White House honeybee structure that looks like the White House, the small bees, for the bees. I think it's awesome.
You had a solid War of 1812 renovation joke that I thought was a banger.
Let me say this. I watched I watched the Parade of Colors yesterday, where they present everything. And I thought Trump gave one of the best speeches he ever has. Whoever wrote that speech hit it on every note, because when he said, we turn from redcoats and Yanks fighting each other to Tommies and GIs saving the Western civilization, I mean, I choked up. I thought it was a great speech, on point and everything. And I was very proud that they had the drum and bugle corps that were playing the things, and they played the military anthems. And I was so proud to hear my friend Jamie Teachner, who actually wrote the theme song that's now nationally renowned for Space Force. So that meant a lot to me. But King Charles is actually charming. When he gave, I don't know where I didn't know there was a USS Trump ship from World War II. Did you all?
Submarine.
A submarine. But the bell from the submarine to give that to Trump, and as he said, we're always here, but if you need us, just give us a ring. It was a beautiful thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for whom was that submarine named? Does anybody know? I mean, I'm assuming it's not for Trump because it came before him or his family. So,
right, I didn't know. Maybe all this conspiracy theory about time travel with Barron Trump is really true. But there was a submarine. So. There's a submarine out there named for Trump, and I thought
not named for Trump. It's
named
Trump.
As Trump. Yes, Trump. But I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ms. York, what did you think?
Well, I thought the king gave a very clear message to Congress. He touched on the history between the two nations and their common zeal to move forward. He touched on supporting Ukraine. He touched on the fact that American courts have used more than 160 times the Magna Carta, and that there are limits to executive power. I think he clearly defined that for those Congress that continue to not do anything. But I thought he gave a real good speech. The only thing I think Trump still has a problem. When they were in the receiving line, the king goes first, the queen goes second. Trump cuts in front of the queen and starts shaking hands.
Today's episode of TMZ.
Just no decorum whatsoever to respect a guest that he's brought to the house. But I thought the king did a very good job in talking about the relationship and that our nation should not continue to look inward only, that it has a larger part in the world. So I think he did a great job not to really ruffle any feathers, but to give a clear, concise message about the relationship between England and America.
And Ms. York, I agree with you, but I've got some thoughts on that. I'm going to let everybody else go first. But yes, I think he represented for his country very well. And that's really the function of the monarchy, of being king these days of England, is to represent for your country. And that's his job. And I think he did a bang up job of it. All right, Jeb, now you thought he might sort of go off the reservation and.
Oh, I said he wouldn't.
Oh, okay. What'd you think?
Thought it was exactly what I assumed. As a figurehead, he'll speak to Parliament occasionally, but he's not legislating anything really. As a thought leader and a guider, he's the first, the royal family, since they've kind of been declawed, is more or less, the first social media influencers over a nation. So his job was not to go in there, ruffle feathers, rattle sabers and get people going. It was calm things, make everybody happy, because he can't do anything really about it. He can't fix it or he can't make it worse. So it's about, playing nice, being good, giving a good speech, reminding us of why we're friends in the first place, and then kind of resetting. Because I think it's a good thing every so often to have somebody in there who has no legislative power, so isn't lying about what they can and can't do. They're just talking about what is hopeful to be done and aspirational without the weight of, then why didn't you do it? Because everyone's like, I know why you didn't do it, because you can't do anything. So I thought it was exactly what I expected. Efforts to unite with a bit of, national pride, popped in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and here's my thoughts. First of all, I'm with Debbie. I'm not, the United States, that's been one of our things ever since the Revolutionary War. We've always sort of said, we don't want queens and kings. We don't think much of monarchies and that kind of thing. But that's what
just about it recently.
Yeah, that comes to mind. But the Revolutionary War was all about no kings, and King George was not exactly a warm and fuzzy guy at that time, and we revolted against him. That being said, though, of course, King George was very much a direct ruler of England in that time. These days, the monarch is, as Jeb says, not involved in the power in the United Kingdom. They're more of a cheerleader, a ceremonial head to represent for their country. And in that, again, I think King Charles did very, very well. Now, his speech in front of Congress, it didn't surprise me in some ways and surprised me in others. His job is to, when he talks about policy, is to represent for the people of England, and that would be to represent for the Prime Minister of England and the government in power, which is the Labour Party. And, clearly he did that, and clearly his speech was, at least the first draft, was written by the Prime Minister or his staff. But what surprised me, though, is that, a king is born into their position. And a lot of kings and queens of England have, been, some of them been insane and mad, and not very many of them that I know of or can recall or even have read about or learned about in history classes were sort of relatable, connected with people. And, his mother, Queen Elizabeth, she was widely liked, I think, and respected, but, relatable, warm and fuzzy, no, not so much. And so I think what I kept noticing, though, is, he delivered it in the accent of his class, which is a big deal in England. But it was his accent. In America, it would be seen as, haughty, but it was his own. He spoke in his own voice. And so I was surprised. And then his speech, I realized as it went on, it was written by the Prime Minister in the first place, but it was obvious that he had taken it and revised it to make it his own, words, which again is amazing because, most kings and queens of England they don't operate on that level. And he related well to his audience. He engaged, he made eye contact. You felt as if, you liked him and that he was doing a good job of doing what he was doing and you admired him. And that is what I did not expect from.
Well, they said at the party, at the state dinner, that he stayed to the very end to speak to everybody, that it was unusual because the Queen was trying to pull him out of the room, but he was really having a good time in this position and staying and speaking to everyone.
Oh yeah, he was out there shaking hands and obviously just having a big time, chatting, and talking with people. He had a good sense of humor, and his mother, you had to sort of stand in line, and you could only touch your hand to shake and all that kind of thing. He's out there shaking hands, yucking it up, which I think
in his speech, he talked about or pointed out that nations will have disagreements, but that allows strong principles to be generated based on the disagreements. He also talked about executive power is subject to checks and balances, and that this country is a living mosaic, and that its Christian faith guides the U.S., and people of all different faiths grow and understand that each other's values all of the people of different faiths. So he talked about a number of different things in that speech that were key points that people should have paid attention to.
Well, and I agree, Mr. York. I agree absolutely. He made some points there that we can all agree to, but now that's not the problem in the United States today. We all agree to those points. It's the execution and implementation of how that works that we disagree on. But those basic principles we all agree on. Right. So let's take a break and we'll come back.
We are going to break. This is the greatest radio station, the most highly respected radio station in southern Middle Tennessee. We love it. 3 Dudes with a View, and we'll be right back.
Happy Millionaire's Day to you. Happy Millionaire's Day to you. Happy Millionaire's Day, dear Tennessee Lottery player. Happy Millionaire's Day to you and many more. Want the chance to celebrate a $1 million win again and again? Play the Millionaire for Life game from the Tennessee Lottery. With drawings every day, you could win $1 million a year for life. Talk about a gift that never gets old. Millionaire for Life from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly. Here at the Tennessee Lottery, we have a number of draw-style games that are all about, well, numbers. From Powerball and Mega Millions to Millionaire for Life and more. There are a number of reasons to give them a try, and that number starts at more than $20 billion, because that's the number of dollars we've awarded to players. So start thinking about the numbers you want to play today. Or if you don't feel like choosing your numbers, we'll choose them for you. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing, number-making fun. Please play responsibly.
I'm Gabe Howard, and my time in the United States Marine Corps shaped who I am. The Marine Corps taught me discipline, responsibility, and that leadership means putting mission and people before self. Those lessons have guided me as a husband, father, small business owner, and county commissioner. As Maury County Mayor, I'll bring that same servant leadership, accountability, and determination to fight for taxpayers and our future. I'd be honored to earn your vote. Paid for by Gabe Howard for Maury County Mayor, Stephen Brown, Treasurer.
Hey, this is Seth Moss at Tennessee Valley Equipment, a premier FAE PrimeTech, Bandit, and Surex dealer. We are your dealer for all of your land clearing and forestry mulching needs. We sell equipment, provide repair service, and parts along with a rental fleet of mulching equipment. We also offer mulching teeth, blades, and sharpening. Our number one priority is getting you up and running as quickly and affordable as possible. Tennessee Valley is located at 300 Santa Fe Pike in wonderful Columbia, Tennessee. Stop by or give us a call today at 931-981-9812.
Hi, I'm Morgan Luck, a local licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Columbia, Tennessee. Turning 65 and choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-586-9906 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually by phone or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Service and product availability may vary by state. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Columbia Foodland is a locally owned and operated family grocery store with a full line of dry, dairy, frozen, meat, and produce items. We focus on keeping the freshest hand-cut meat and produce items daily with the most competitive prices in town. We offer weekly ad specials as well as in-store weekly specials throughout the store. Located at 427 West 7th Street in Columbia in the former Harris Foodland location. Columbia Foodland. We're here and ready to serve the wonderful people of Columbia and the surrounding areas.
Debbie Matthews grew up and lives in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee. As a realtor, she is well versed in homes, neighborhoods, development, and schools. She wants to share her love of her home state with others to help them find just the right place to raise a family, open a business, or develop a dream. From luxury listings to land, she can handle it all. She is the current leading producer, Nashville Realty Group. Contact Debbie Matthews Realtor at 615-476-3224. That's 615-476-3224.
This is Mark Curry at the Trailer Store. We are a local, family-owned business. Every day, I work with my wife, Susie, my mother, Becky, and my son, Justin. We offer a full line of lawnmower trailers, utility trailers, stock trailers, and a full line of trailer parts. We also offer service. Come see us at 1021 New Lewisburg Highway. Call us at 931-381-2795. That's 931-381-2795.
Some people are just obsessed with their lawns. They'd cut their grass with a pair of scissors if they could. Thanks to Gravely, they don't have to. You see, Gravely makes not only the best built and most comfortable lawnmowers, but they also leave your house looking like a doggone country club. So whether you're a commercial landscaper wanting the best or just a perfectionist homeowner, you can't do better than a Gravely.
See our full line of Gravely products at Murray County Equipment, 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia, Tennessee, or check us out on Facebook.
My name is Del Kennedy. I am dude number 3, broadcasting the last show from the sunny shores of the Gulf of America. I am dude number 3. Dude number 2, Ron Hart, is away this morning. Dude number 1, Mr. Jim York, good morning.
Good morning, Del. So you got all the sunshine, we getting the rain.
And boy, I've been watching that, and did we ever need it? How much did we get, Mr. York?
I don't know. It poured down pretty good yesterday and last night. So I don't know the inches. You know, I hadn't seen the local news yet.
Well, I pray with thanks for that, because we were dry, just bad dry up there. And it was getting to the point where, you know, I mean, the farmers were already hurting, but we were getting to the point, you know, where people's yards and even, you know, if it kept up much longer, and it still may, you know, talking about, you know, water shortages and that kind of thing. So, we needed the rain very badly, and I thank God for bringing it to Middle Tennessee. We didn't see it down here, but Middle Tennessee needed it. Okay, regular special guest dude, Debbie Matthews. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And on board, our engineer this morning, former dude number 2, but still a dude, Clayton Harris. Good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Don't
Good
forget
morning.
Jeb.
Oh, there he is. Yep, son of Ron Hart, son of dude number 2, Jeb Hart. Good morning.
Morning, y'all.
And the host of In the Middle with Jeb Hart,
which follows this show. It's a great
does,
show.
on
Yeah,
YouTube,
you can.
yeah.
It's online. You can.
It's
can
such a
listen
thoughtful show, man. It really gets into things that you just don't have enough time to get into. So it's really good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it is. And let's see, it's live online following this show. And the name of the show is In the Middle. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of it with Jeb
In
Hart.
the middle of it. And you can find it anywhere you find your podcast. And so it's a good show. And it's live immediately following this show, but you can get it any time. You know, one last thought on King Charles. And I
have a couple of more thoughts before we close out on King Charles.
Okay.
But you finish.
You know, he did talk about the special relationship between England and the United States, or Great Britain and the United States. And that's been true. Basically, since the Revolutionary War up until now, there has been a special, cordial relationship between the UK and the United States. But what's obvious in recent times is that relationship probably isn't quite what it used to be, and maybe on its way out. And that is, I agree completely with Ron, and I wish you were here to talk about it, that it is because of the England basically opened its doors to, open borders in the last few years, and Muslims from Africa and the Middle East poured in, and they are not friendly at all to the United States. Now, And folks, there are a lot of these Muslim folk. I mean, they're not most of them. I mean, who are good people. I mean, you wouldn't mind having lunch with them or having them as a guest or whatnot. But now it just doesn't matter. They are Muslim, and at the core, their outlook is always going to be antithetical to Christian Western civilization. They're just not going to support it, and they're going to go another direction because that's
they have a right to believe in their own religion.
Yeah, but they
don't. They have a
it doesn't
right?
stay that way, Jim. It
does stay that way. They don't
No. It becomes one with the government, and then everything is run through that lens.
I don't see Ilhan Omar producing trying to push her religion on anybody.
Not yet.
Well, then you
wait
don't
till
see
they own the
Mr. York
population
at all. She wants to overthrow the existing government of the United States.
That's not true. That's not. Don't start stuff like that. It's always about fear from y'all. It's always about fear.
We're watching what's happening, Jim.
Some kind of boogerman.
We're watching what happens, Jim. We're being discerning about what is occurring in the UK.
I mean, you want to talk about kings. Everywhere that there's a Muslim majority in the world, they're autocratic, dictatorial governments.
Well, so what?
No. Right now, Jim, they're telling British people they can't have dogs in public anymore because it offends the Muslims. That is what's happening. They're also telling them they can't play music because it offends the Muslims. And it becomes all encompassing.
And they will want women to cover their faces
Absolutely.
up. I mean, that you give them a majority. But more than anything, though, they can't do. They won't accept democracy. They want a dictatorship and autocracy to enforce Sharia law and Muslim beliefs. And
they're living in a democracy here, Delk. They're living in a democracy here.
For now.
But he was talking about
law is not prevalent anywhere. They do it in their own cultural basis, just like we have people that are Mormons that do their own thing and nobody says anything about it.
It does not take over the government and become one with their religious view. That is the problem, is that the laws of the United States, once the population, they come in, and again, I know a ton of Muslims, but they come in, and as the population grows, it's not the majority of the Muslims, but it's the top 3 radical % of them, and then they get the population.
But we got radical Christians, Debbie. We got radical Christians.
Yeah, but the top 1% of Muslims are always willing to kill everybody else to impose their
the radical Christians are trying to establish national Christian relationships in this country.
We've always been a Christian nation.
They want to put nationalism,
We've always been a Christian
which
nation,
is about. They want to push nationalism, which is about stay with your own kind. And rather than patriotism, dealing with the creed for this country.
You're smushing things together to make the turn of phrase more convenient for what you're trying to say. But when we're talking about words like that, your words matter, and just smashing things together and then prescribing
words do matter. That's why we shouldn't castigate Muslims or any religious group. Let them do their own thing.
Okay, so we're not
castigating. Hang on a minute now, and then Debbie started. I am not castigating Muslims, and I said that from the very beginning. Right. What I'm saying is, if they achieve enough numbers to have a political influence as they have in England, they will not support the basic pillars of a democracy in America as the ones you just described, King Charles. The ones that he articulated. They won't support that.
He didn't seem to be fearful of that. He didn't seem to be fearful of that.
King Charles is fearful of Islam, you're crazy, because if he doesn't adhere, if he's not a soft touch with them, they will overthrow the monarchy. Their goal has been to have an ISIS or a Muslim flag hanging over the Tower of London. They have said it. They've almost got the population.
Okay, this is Debbie. Let's make sure we're specific with the word there. Their goal, that is easily attackable by saying all. Let's make sure we're clear.
I am saying that it has been a Muslim saying propaganda thing for years that they are not going to be satisfied until a Muslim flag is flying over the Tower of London. That has been so said. Now populations are coming in, and now they're changing, getting elected positions, and now they're changing the laws, and now you can't preach. You can't even say the Bible. You can't even say Bible things in Canada now because everybody's so afraid of what the Muslims will think, or you're going to offend them. So
you are so fearful of
I'm
nothing.
saying these are the laws that are changing.
Instilling
Jim.
fear in a population
Jim,
that doesn't know anything about Muslims.
In Michigan, in Michigan, the city council has just recently voted to allow animal slaughter for sacrifice because the city council is majority Muslim. Now, are you okay with this?
Now,
if that's what they believe, that's what they believe.
Okay, so you're okay with
it doesn't affect me here in
being
Tennessee.
Okay.
It doesn't affect me here in Tennessee.
Well,
I'm really sorry. I gotta.
Okay, Jeb, go ahead.
I gotta ask. So if that's what they believe, that's what they believe. I don't care. You draw this line specifically around the Muslim population when it comes to these conversations about, it's what they believe they are allowed to believe. And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But there's also people who believe in a flying spaghetti monster and people who believe, like, just because it's a belief does not necessarily mean that it should be. I mean, I'm not even taking Muslims specifically here. I'm just saying anything. You're drawing a very distinct line here where people on the right have beliefs, that's their belief, and you lose your mind here every single morning about it. Why is this one not really worth any scrutiny or conversation? It's a hard line of, I don't care, it's their thing.
Because it's not affecting the majority of American society, Jeb. It's just one little tidbit of things that Debbie describes, which I doubt that's happening.
No, well, look it up.
But
Jim,
that's what she described. It's not affecting
Debbie,
all of American society.
The Prime Minister of
Debbie, don't talk over me.
I'm sorry.
Don't talk over Mr. York. Wait for your turn.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
Okay. The Prime Minister of Austria, which is Central Europe, just made a comment last week or week before that he thought that his people needed to start, the women in his country needed to start wearing headdresses to be, to make sure that nothing is offended. So now Austrian women are being asked to start wearing headdresses so they don't offend the Muslim population that is there. It is not them assimilating to us, it's us assimilating to them. Okay, and by golly, when they start taking dogs off the street,
who makes our society superior to anybody else's? Who makes that?
Debbie, finish up. Let Ms. York speak.
Okay, so this is the problem: is that we have to assimilate to the way they want women to carry themselves. If you want to have a dog in society, if you want to marry a 9-year-old, that it's all okay. It's for you to have whatever instead of it being the rule of law.
Good point. Let Ms. York talk. Okay.
The marriage age in Tennessee is 14, but it's all about we. We want this. We want that. What's wrong with you assimilating to another culture? If that was true, but the majority cultures are going to continue to survive. The minority cultures are striving to be just recognized in a community, not take over a community.
Jim, you want Mexican culture to survive. You want Japanese culture to survive. You want Chinese
Damn
culture
right
to survive.
I do.
You want Italian
What's wrong
culture
with it?
because you don't want British culture to survive. That's the problem.
I live in a British culture, part British culture.
Well, why don't you want to fight for it to survive? It's okay for us to give up our culture, but not Italians, not anybody else. But Irish people can't stay Irish, and Scottish people can't stay Scottish, and British people can't stay Scottish, and British, and American people can't stay American. We're supposed to assimilate to everybody else's culture. I don't understand that. What is
okay,
why?
Debbie, we get what you're saying. All right, I've understood. All right, Jeb, you want to weigh in here?
Yeah. So, I mean, the idea of culture assimilation, individual cultures, melting pots, all of this, there's a giant benefit towards, you could do something as simple as, Tex-Mex and Mexican food, cultures assembling. I know that's not, a huge thing, but the idea when you come somewhere else from where you came from, that's the place you wanted to go. So you understand what they're about, which is why you go there and you can bring your part to it. But there's a certain set of agreed upon pillars of what that place that you chose to go to is. And that's why you chose to go there. So you can absolutely bring who you are to that, but there's certain aspects of it that are part of the reason you wanted to go there in the first place. So you don't go there for the sake of changing all of that there. That's kind of, and you also shouldn't be shocked when people have pushback being like, okay, you decided to come here because you like so many of the things. This was your first choice. So why is it that you want to come in and do this? And then you get in trouble for saying, hey, let's just try to maintain what we have. We love, aspects of your culture, want to have that, don't want to deny you your humanity and your personal experience and your family heritage. But there are times and places and things. We have a pillar of which makes America America. And
okay. And
I agree with that, Jeff.
Here. People agree. You left-wing nuts are going to go out and say I'm a Muslim hater and I'm, that kind of thing. I'm not. I love Muslims. I have nothing against Muslims per se. What I'm saying is, in Western world, in the cities and the countries that are part of Western civilization, which the United States is, and so is England, when their numbers become sufficient, they are not. Even the ones that are just wonderful, who
moderates.
participate in the community, go to the Kiwanis Club, help raise money for good causes. Even the ones who are wonderful are not going to support the basic principles of Western democracy that Miss York and King Charles just spoke in favor of. So they're just not. All right, let's take a break and come back.
This is Barry Duke, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
We are going to break at WKOM. This is the greatest radio station, the most highly respected radio station in southern Middle Tennessee. We love it.
This is Del Kennedy. A few years ago, my wife, Mary Susan, and I decided to redo our study. I wanted the same comforting earth color green my grandmother had in her study when I was growing up. We didn't even have a sample. Mary Susan went to see Zeke Maddox at Columbia Paint and Wallcover. He had my grandmother's color card on file from 1959. Today, her great-great-grandchildren play and laugh under that comforting green. Columbia Paint and Wallcover, Zeke Maddox, 931-388-2806.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
A1 Tree Removal is there for the community in times of need. If you have fallen trees or broken branches and limbs that you need removed, contact A1 Tree Removal. Licensed and insured, A1 Tree Removal is a family-owned business that is locally owned and operated. If you have trees down and need help today, call or text Luke at 931-359-3113. That's 931-359-3113. Give A1 Tree Removal a call or check them out on Facebook today for all of your tree servicing needs.
The generations that have paved the way for us deserve respect, integrity, and compassion. This is Kelly Dobson, owner of Caring Hearts Home Healthcare. My grandmother and mother started this business in 2005, and I was honored to take over in 2012. Licensed and insured, we help our aging community stay in the comfort of their own homes. Online at CaringHeartsHomeHealthcareLLC.com, by phone 931-381-5470, or in person at 1121 Trotwood Avenue here in Columbia. That's Caring Hearts Home Healthcare.
Farmer Johnny here, Taylor Family Farm. I want to give y'all a little look-see. We raise 100% non-GMO, grass-fed beef, pasture chicken, and pork on our family farm. Everything that we grow is raised with love and care to ensure the highest quality and nutrition for our family and customers. You can shop online at TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com or visit our farm store in person at Etheridge, Tennessee at 301 Dave Reisner Road. That's TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com for more information.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, especially at Puckett's Restaurant in downtown Columbia. Live on the Square is back on Friday, May 1st, featuring Lost in Paradise, the ultimate Jimmy Buffett tribute band that'll have you singing, swaying, and smiling all night long. Calling all parrot heads, it's time to escape to Island Time. Doors open at 8, show starts at 8:30. $15 cover gets you in. Don't miss it. Learn more at puckettsrestaurant.com/live. Great tunes, great vibes. Only at Puckett's.
Sing it, folks. My name's Del Kennedy. I'm dude number 3. You're tuned in to 3 Dudes with a Wednesday edition. Dude number 2, Ron Hart, not with us today, but his son Jeb Hart is. Good morning, Jeb.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning. Dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Regular special guest dude, Debbie Matthews.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here.
And on the board, our engineer this morning, like I said, formerly dude number 2, but still a dude, Clayton Harris. Good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. All right. The NCAA is talking about increasing the basketball tournament to what, 36 teams or
64 teams now, but it was 68.
78, I think. It's something crazy.
How many, Clay?
78, maybe 74, something like
for
that.
the tournament. In
Well, it's the only thing they have left
be-
that makes the money since college football and their playoff has splintered off from the NCAA sanctioning, and the vast majority of the NCAA's money comes from the March Madness tournament. So diluting it doesn't really do anything for them if they get a few extra games for TV revenue when it ups the contract. I mean, at this point, they're hanging on by.
It's going to be March. It's going to be March and April Madness.
Well, might as well just put them all in. Yeah.
So I'm just hearing. I mean, maybe. So we're getting the Super Bowl in 2030, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So
That's what I've heard.
I have heard that the city of Nashville has now been told that they have to have 80 additional hotels to make, because there's things that they have to do before 2030. So 80 new hotels. So. Del, remember that where the Tennessean was on Broadway? I'm sure you do. You know.
Yes, of course.
Across the street there's a.
Is it not there anymore?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Are you sure it's hotels? Because I don't think they do it by hotels. It's by rooms within proximity.
They just need 80 more rooms.
No, I'm not sure what that is. They don't normally do it by like number of hotels, because one could be 5,000 rooms, one could be a 5-bedroom motel.
Sure. So what are they going to do after the Super Bowl if that's what they need?
I don't know, because there's all these things that a city has to do to get prepared for the Super Bowl. But, across the street from the Tennessean there on Broadway, as you come in from the split of 21st and Broad that siphons together, the Tennessean was down there on the left, and there's a McDonald's and some gas station on that corner. And I've heard those two pieces have now been bought, and a hotel is going there for sure. So Nashville has changed so much that if you aren't there every 3 months, you lose your way, because it doesn't look anything like it used to. So there's a whole lot of tax dollars going to be going to stuff in Nashville.
Well, Debbie, do you think the Super Bowl is worth it or not? Because we're all going to pay. I mean, it's not just Nashville.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the taxes in Davidson County have gone up, I don't know, 59% over the last, they've exponentially gone up. So is the normal average Nashvilleian getting 59% better garbage can pickup or street pickup? Has it improved 59%? No, nothing in their regular lives have improved for this vast amount of additional money they're having to pay. And for one day, I don't know how much money it's going to bring into the coffers.
It's for the most part, they've done a bunch of studies on this, and they were working off of the same this study from a while back about the economic impact of large scale events. And for a lot of instances, so for Nashville it's different because it's a new stadium as well as requires new infrastructure. So they were working it off of like existing places like New Orleans, who's hosted before, who could do it tomorrow because they don't need to build anything else, and what the impact is there. People buying hotels, hotel taxes, and all this other stuff is helpful. But you have to build things in order to make it. The ROI shrinks and shrinks. Same thing with like the Olympics and the World Cup and all this. Like, yeah, a lot of people are there spending money, but if you have to build so much stuff to do it, and right now with like the World Cup the U.S. is hosting, they're getting into some fight with FIFA about security costs and parking things. It's becoming a nightmare, and a lot of these oversight things with branding, a lot of this like stadiums have branding on them. They won't allow them to do that, so they have to take that down. You have to know what you're getting into to see if it makes sense. It's not just we get to host the Super Bowl.
ROI being return on investment. Ms. York, what's your thoughts?
I don't think Nashville's going to build no 80 hotels. I tell you that. I mean, because they got the Music City industry and all that stuff and constant tourism, but it's not going to support having an additional 80 hotels. Now, 2 or 3, maybe, but 80? That's way out of line.
That seems like a stretch, and I don't think anybody thinks that government's going to build those things. And
No,
so you got to have
would be private investors building it, but what
yeah,
are you losing?
and they're not going to do it unless they
right
want to.
Right. So
when you build a hotel, you're looking at long-term occupancy.
Right.
But right now,
not just for a couple of days.
Right, but hotel night stays in Nashville are more expensive than D.C. or New York right now. Y'all know
it's
that.
expensive. Everything in Nashville is expensive.
It's expensive.
And
So-
I mean, but I remember the Olympics in Atlanta, like 20 years back at this point, and they got all excited about it and just thought it was wonderful. And I think when the Olympics came and went, they ended up glad to see it go.
I'll tell you what Atlanta did that was very different. If you look at the World Cup and the Olympics in Brazil, all of those stadiums and things that they built were singular event stadiums. Like the one that they built in the middle of the rainforest, the stadium size was bigger than the town itself. So, but what Atlanta did was like the Olympic dorms got bought by Georgia Tech, then Georgia State, and then like the diving facility was purchased by Georgia Tech. The field for the Olympics was Turner Field forever. Now it is the Georgia State football field. All of the things that they built for it, for the most part, had an already lined up secondary use. So it wasn't this empty stadium that ends up being a parking lot for buses or something. So if you plan ahead well enough, it's not as much of a drain. It's actually kind of a long-term infrastructure help if you do it correctly. But a lot of times it's so short-term needed that you say, screw it, we have a clock, and you don't think it through.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, people start to see gold, and when they see gold, their judgment gets messed up. So, and the Olympics in Nashville, I mean, Mr. York's right. Nashville will bear the brunt of it, but it's certainly going to affect south, to Williamson County, Murray County.
We're gonna be inundated too.
Yeah.
Suburbs. We're not that far.
Yeah, and there may be quite a bit of revenue associated with it, but we don't know what the costs are going to be. So,
well, let me say right now, just as a realtor, what I've seen in the last 3 weeks. In 2008, when the housing crisis started, agents knew ahead of time that the canary in the bird cage was dead because mid-executive range houses that are like from 450 to 700,000 had stopped. But what's happened now in the last 3 weeks in 2026 in the Spring Hill area, North Murray County, Spring Hill, Dixon, some, if a house goes on the market between 450 and 650, it's not staying on the market at all a long time. In the last 3 weeks, I've been involved in 3 multiple offer situations, 6, 7 offers at a time on something that hits the market the first day. So I'm starting to see something percolating in the real estate market, that price point. Now, first-time home buyers still can't get into the market because the interest rates are too high, down payments and things like that. It's really tough for lower price houses. But those executive level houses, people are feeling confident enough to step out and buy right now.
Is that, well, Debbie, I don't quite understand. You're talking about 2008.
When 2008 happened, it dried up. And so we knew something was about to happen because those executives did not feel comfortable about buying or selling or moving. Now this uptick now is showing confidence somewhere. Now it could be because we're Tennessee and we've got people fleeing California, Illinois, and New York. Okay, it could be that they're finally saying, "I got to get out of here and get to Tennessee." And
or is it investor houses, Debbie?
Nope.
You sure?
These are. I'm positive. These are families. So there was a little house here in Columbia out on Standing Stone. And it went on the market, and my people were going to see it at 5:30, and I got a call from the agent at 1 o'clock, said I already have multiple offers, so be prepared that we're going to enter best and highest.
Let me pose another question to you, because I know there's been a lot of publicity about, in some parts of the country, these huge investment firms or companies are buying up large numbers of residential houses as an investment. Are we seeing that in Middle Tennessee?
I think we probably did during 21 and 22. For an example, I had a Titans defensive coach. I can't remember his name. He left here and he went to the Patriots, and now I think he's at the Giants. He bought a house in 21 or 22 in the Grove, okay? And he overpaid for the house $200,000 above ask. because there was money floating in from somewhere or such a demand that you had to go way above ask with no inspection, no appraisal, and just get the house. Well, he just put the house back on.
That's been the complaint.
Right.
They use
Big
iBuyers.
firms are driving up prices.
But
yeah.
he just sold his house, and he sold it to my clients for 2.5, okay? Because he didn't get the markup now on the sale. Everything's sort of starting to settle down where it should be, okay? So all of that, but we are seeing an uptick in executive level pricing, I would say between $450 and $650, maybe up to $700 in the North Columbia, South Williamson County, that pocket right there. I call it sort of the Golden Triangle, where things are selling really quick on the market, whereas everything else is setting 90, 120 days or so. So
building slowed down too, hasn't it, Debbie? I don't see as many developments picking up around here.
Builders right now are stagnant because they don't trust what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Now,
material costs?
Yeah, well, I got yesterday somebody got an interest rate with a lender of one
6 something?
No, it was in the fives. It was 5.7, somewhere 5.7, 5.8.
That's good.
Yeah, so we're starting to see movement in the market, okay? There's one thing that I want to say about the king before we leave. So he made a statement in his speech in front of Congress. He said, if Charles Dickens had written this story, it would have been the tale between two Georges. And I stood back and I thought, how long is that reference going to resonate with our population? Because I don't know if kids are reading Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities anymore. I don't know.
True enough.
And that really made me go, because I don't think they're teaching Shakespeare. I don't think they're, and it really made me pause and go, wonder how long that statement would resonate.
Debbie, I mean, a lot of them don't even know what the Revolutionary War is.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's out there. I don't know. Yeah.
When I was working on my master's, I was doing some substitute teaching at St. Pius, and the kids were 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, somewhere in there. I taught different level classes, but the kids, 8th graders, did not know at the time who Hitler was. Now that was at the beginning of that was in the 90s. And it sort of was like a cold water being sprayed on you on just what all people have to catch up on history-wise. And I don't think our elected officials know history. I don't think they know any, so.
We got 2 minutes left. I want to hit something real quick, but everybody tell what they want to say. We have a whole lot of publicity these days about China being bad, buying up American land, being a threat to the United States, blah, blah, blah. I don't see China as a threat at all to the U.S. Everybody lightning round, go. What do you think? Ms. York?
China's economically aggressive and stabilizing, but I don't think they're in the process of being aggressive where they're going to drop a bomb or shoot a missile. They're destroying our economy by being economically viable.
I 100% agree with you, Mr. York, and yeah, I agree with you. All right, Debbie?
Saudi Arabia and Qatar said yesterday that they're going to start buying oil in Chinese yens instead of the American dollar.
Well, they're getting out of OPEC, and that's not totally what they announced. That's a potential option for it. It's a lot more nuanced than that. But getting out of OPEC and stopping the amount that they're allowed to, the amount of holes they're allowed to drill, and the amount they're allowed to pump, which OPEC capped for price fixing reasons. It's more nuanced than that.
Okay, tomorrow, folks, last show of the week. See you then. I will be back in Tennessee.
And I'll see y'all in a few.
Mandarin Chinese. Have a great day, folks.
You may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now.
Breaking news this hour from town.